Not that I need...
Are those
I could probably use the Magnum the rest of the game.
Are those chimeras in here?
They are going to be here soon.
Oh, I hate those things in the first game. They are literally the worst enemy in the game. Not that strong, they're just so annoying.
Yep. Yeah, they're pretty annoying in here. I guess I'm gonna be... I guess I'll kill a couple of them.
So I'm like... Really, like... this video will more than likely be up by Resident Evil 3's release date, April 3rd. And I'm really worried that that's gonna be, like... Obviously delayed physically, but I have a feeling that since the game is so gosh darn close to being done, or obviously done already, that it'll be available, of course, digitally, and I'm like, do I wait a couple weeks or for the physical one, or just get it digitally? And I hate getting things digitally. Like I like literally never do for full games.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel like it
just feels like you're getting cheated. I don't
know.
It's like your PS4 dies, and then the servers go down. You're out of game.
Yeah.
Well, physical copies forever. Okay, so this is how you figure out that cell puzzle. I think there's a... Let's read this first.
My dearest Data, by the time you read this letter, I will no longer be the person you once knew. The results of my test came out today, and as I suspected, it came out positive. I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of reason, just thinking about my impending doom. I would give anything not to have to become one of them. As far as I know, you are not infected. I sincerely hope things do not reach such a desperate pass, but if it has turned out that you are now the last person remaining alive, I want you to get the material from the visual data room. Then activate the self-destruct system in the power room and escape from here. Please do everything in your power to make this whole accident public. If everything is still running normally, you should be able to release all the locks using the security system. I have set up the terminal in the small security room so that you can log into the system using my name and your name as the password. You will need another password to release the lock of the door in basement level 2 with the visual data room. As a safety measure, I've coded that password into an x-ray picture. I know you, and I'm sure you will be able to work it out without any trouble. There's just one more thing, and it is my last request. I hope you never have to lay eyes on me in this state, but if you do happen to run into me in my hideous form, I beg you to put me out of my misery. I hope you understand. Thank you, Ada. Yours truly, John.
John. So that's obviously John and Ada.
A.k.a. God.
So this is how you figure out cell. So it says, there's a note over here that says, to use the electronic door, place the initials in alphabetical order.
Of the people's names.
Of the people's names, and also, so there's a red light over here. So now it's red. So you see like specific parts, like that's a lung. So over here it tells you what everything's called. So lung, esophagus, stomach, liver, whatever. So first one over here, that's a colon.
Esophagus. Liver, lung, I guess, huh?
Whoops, whatever. That is the lung. It should be changed. Okay.
That's cool. Then lung, yeah.
Liver and lung.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'll just. I mean, I'm patient. I've like literally games I've wanted like a super long time to play.
Yeah, I can definitely wait for Resident Evil 3, but Final Fantasy 7, if like something happens that we're not open by then.
Well, that Square already came out essentially saying like, hey, like some places will just be late in getting this. Essentially, is what they're saying, and like it's understandable. Like if I was Square, I would say the same thing. You know, I'd be like, I can't promise you anything. You know what I mean? Like at this point. I had someone message us, like, today's Sunday. It was, like, Wednesday or Thursday when all the craziness was going on. They were like, hey, I saw that Square, announce this. Can you guarantee you'll have it on April 10th? I was like, are you serious? Like,
yes,
it's like
small business that relies on small distributor.
It's like
guaranteed.
Like, I understand, like, in times like this, you want stuff like that to get your mind off that, and that's fine. But it's like, can I guarantee it? No. Like, I can't guarantee that Resident Evil will be here next week, you know? Like, it's just, I was like, no. I was like, I'm really sorry, but, like, I will not guarantee anything. Probably up until May or June, I will not guarantee anything, you know? It's just like, Just deal with it. Oh, so one mode disc is just out.
Yeah, 2 of them are just out of remote. Alright. So here we use this.
What does this give you? I forget. Like a password or something?
So here's all the names. So this is how they, like, call them.
Hunter's like the perfect
Tyrant? What's that? I never saw that before. And there's Wesker.
Oh, that picture's terrible because it, like...
So...
Oh, 8462.
Originally, it's just a barcode, but without that red film over it, you don't know what the password is, but yeah, it's 8462.
What red film?
I just used it on the thing.
Oh, okay. That's a terrible picture because it's, like, not 1000% obvious that it's him.
It probably looked better in the original and it wasn't upscaled.
It did, it did. Oh, yeah. Oh, I meant for the original Resident Evil 1, yeah.
Even the GameCube release probably looked a lot better.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm not saying you can't tell who it is, but, like, in the original one... hello, yeah, this doesn't seem super important. I mean, this is stuff Trevor already knows. It's not, like, story-based.
We can see Kenneth's film. Remember when we got
No way.
a million hours ago?
Hey, at least this gives a little bit of story to Kenneth, the person who just dies to the first zombie he sees.
The most iconic zombie.
Yep. It's hanging up there. I have a painting of it.
Man, how can Chris go and fight dozens of them, and then Kenneth dies?
Well, it's like, I even understand the guys who died outside, you know? Like, to the dogs, because dogs are dogs, and they're, like, fast and whatever.
Dogs
but, like,
are dogs.
That zombie, it's like... It's, I don't know. Also, like, sending in the STARS unit, like, woefully unprepared. Like, what was... The whole reason they came here is because there was, like, incidents of, like, you know, people being eaten and stuff like that. So they weren't sent to the mansion specifically, but they were sent to, like, the mountains in general. And you have, like... You send 2 of your people, Jill and Chris, with literally just handguns. Like, come on. Like, Barry has a Magnum, too, which is nice, but it's, like... Literally, and like
in reality, a Magnum is like stronger than a handgun, but it's not like that much crazier.
Yeah, I mean, canonically, I guess it makes sense because like Chief Irons was like, I guess head of STARS, and he like literally wanted the town to burn and whatever. But it's still like, oh my god, you know, it's just like, I'm just like, could it be? Like, could they have sent them in more ill-prepared? And it's not even like a checkup. It's literally like... sorry for that beep. I guess I left my sound on. It's like sending a special tactics and rescue squad in to check on, like, dozens of people being eaten. And you're like, here's a handgun with a clip. It's like, alright.
I think some of the other STARS members had cool stuff. I don't remember. So 3 locks. We're gonna get the other ammo disc eventually. One thing that kind of confused me for a second is that these are only single use. You have to find 3 different consoles.
That's right.
So like when I was playing this today, I was like, why can't I?
They really do not want you to find Jill or Chris.
Facts.
From Raccoon Disaster, the contents of this fax are confidential and intended for the named addressee only. Any copy and disclosure of the contents of this fax to Major League Baseball is unsolicited. After reading the contents of this fax, it must be... We expect significant increase in the damage done by the recent T-Viruses outbreak than initially estimated. There are several concerns. First concern, more than half the researchers have been infected that T-Viruses have died. It has also been reported that almost all of the survivors of this accident are starting to show symptoms of the T-Virus infection. Second concern, our Secret Security Patrol Team, SSPT, has also been completely eradicated. Therefore, our most secret research is in danger of public disclosure. Quick actions are demanded to prevent mass media. Third concern, there is a high possibility that, that most of the specimens are running loose inside the compound. We expect many casualties to follow. My apologies for leaving my messenger on the...
Oh, there it is.
We expect many casualties to follow. However, yet unfortunate, these casualties underscore the success of our research results. Actions must be taken to prevent our research from being made public. We suspect the first official intervention will come the state policy and stars. We strongly recommend taking measures against them first. I kind of forget, like, in terms of the lore, is there, like, one single, like, thing that happened to, like, start the outbreak among the lab? Or is it just, like, eventually, like, they were just... I guess it's just they were experimenting on people and then someone got bit and then it just...
Yeah, and it was highly contagious and just went all over.
That's one thing I like about Resident Evil 2's story is, like, the outbreak makes sense. They're in the sewers, the T-virus gets broken, and then rats carry it, and then rats eventually take it to other animals, and animals take it to, you know, the people. So, I think that's pretty cool.
I think it was their first encounter with a chimera.
You have literally, like, 24 Magnum bullets.
Yeah. And a whole bunch of shotgun shells. Cool. Noises.
Even nowadays, having played these games so much, you just, like, hear those noises and you're like, Remember dial-up, folks? I remember.
I don't specifically remember where the third REMake disc is. I'll probably just stumble across it. The noise is high. Ah, yes.
Oh my god. Multiples!
Only 2? That's surprising.
I hate those things. Still fine. Wow.
I think I hit once.
Based other Chimera.
Oh, right. That's exactly what I wanted to avoid.
What? Oh, being in that room?
Yeah.
Would you like me to, just in case, look up where the Mo disc is?
I'll stumble across it.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's definitely in the lab. I mean, I played this today, so I'll find it.
Dat memory. I like, I think all Resident Evil games have, like, a great lore and a great overall story. It got a little out of hand once it got even... Resident Evil 4 is Resident Evil 4 is an amazing game. But the lore started getting ridiculous, where it started, like, traveling around the world, and...
Resident Evil 4, honestly, it's the most ridiculous of all of them by a lot, but it's so, like, self-contained and doesn't, like, affect anything that I'm okay with it. Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, like, when they, like, introduce, like, Wesker again in Resident Evil 5, you're like, oh...
Or Resident Evil 6, it's, like, literally, like... a worldwide thing at that point. Which, that was one of the main things that me and Parker always griped about. It's like, over the course of this thing, right, you see, like, in major cities in the U.S. are ruins, right? Not just Raccoon City, which is a small Midwestern town. It's like, you play in, like, you play in Washington, D.C., and, like, literally the president is infected, and you have to, like, kill the president. Okay, so it's like... really, really, really big, right? And then you're, like, in, like, Russia, you're in a bunch of countries. I forget exactly where. That game, it, like, all is, it's all a blur. But then there's, like, scenes where, like, everyone's just having a picnic, you know what I mean? And I'm like, if, like, Washington, D.C. was, like, torn to the ground, what are you not able to do when you're holding that, by the way? I forget.
I can't run too much. I'm not sure if you're not able to shoot your gun, but I'm also scared of that. There's no fuel in this, so.
Oh, okay. But and then like at the end of the whatever, like nothing will be like solved, but it'll be like, we're having a nice picnic, and it's like, what? Like if Washington D.C. was like completely destroyed, and like literally it was like that much of a state of panic, like even if you weren't there, you'd be like, what do we do? So I liked when it was just like something that was starting, but when they got to the point where it was like, now it's not even Umbrella anymore, now it's all these other companies, like, I think it's in Resident Evil 6, like, you're just, like, in Europe, in Chris's Quest, which, Trev, you never played, but it's like, you know, the action, you know, Rambo kind of thing, and you're just in Europe fighting all these monsters, and all of a sudden, like, some company, for, like, no reason, like, helicopters in, like, another, like, even bigger than El Gigante thing. Like, they, like, helicopter in, or whatever, like, a 40-foot tall thing, and you're like, what? Like, I get, like, certain corporations being like, we want to rule the world, but it's like, why? Like, why is dropping a 50-foot tall BO, like, how's that gonna get you money? You know what I mean? Like,
I guess, look up where that stupid ammo disc is. I just don't remember. Because there's not that many rooms left.
Alright.
I don't understand why. I can't remember. Oh god. When I'm like 50, I'm gonna be barely functional.
Okay, so this is Chris Hard. Laboratory stairway, laboratory B2. On the desk next to the entrance to the visual data room. And visual data room on the shelves next to the entrance. So they're both on laboratory B2.
Okay, so yeah, I did miss the one in the one area.
So you got that then? On the desk next to the entrance to the visual data room.
I have to go to.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, it's just in a random spot, but sure chose a wrong time to pick up the fuel because I can't run anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna just
rip. I love how fast that is, though. That's awesome.
Because the last ammo disc reader is like right there.
Oh, so it'd be much better, yeah.
It would save so much more time to do this.
Do,
I guess I could just walk up there. Whatever. Too late.
I just have to use this as an opportunity to remind everyone how much I dislike Resident Evil 6. Like, okay, the extra game mode they give you at the end is good. Great. You know? It's like, I don't know, it's like, I have a terrible meal at a restaurant, but then they give me a cookie at the end. It's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
the majority of RE6 is terrible. I also hate all the Resident Evils that, like, they have co-op in mind more than anything. It's like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Like, Resident Evil 5 is, like, sort of fun. And, like, yeah, like, when you're with someone you can play, it's fun, I guess. But, like, you lose that atmosphere.
I know. I like them because I play them all with Parker, so I, like, enjoy when they're like that. But I also, like, completely... Oh, it's just literally right there. Lol. I, like, completely understand, and, like... I wish they would just do every other one like that. Like, I liked Revelations 2, mostly because it was a co-op game, but that's mostly because I played with someone. If I played with a freaking computer, I'd be like, oh, God.
Yeah. So it's a lose-lose because you're not alone, so it's not as scary. And obviously they weren't trying to make a scary game, but that's bad in its own way. And then your options for this co-op game is either babysit the dumb AI that can get killed and is a valid concern to be worried about, or play with a friend. And, like, obviously if you play with a friend, it's more fun, but you don't take it as seriously, so it's... I don't know, I just hate co-op games for things like that. It's just like when they put... Dead Space 3 is probably the best example for that. Like, you take Dead Space, which is like a horror, atmospheric, action, survival horror game, and then, like, you change it so much, and, like, add co-op, and you're like, what?
Yeah. I played all 3 Dead Space games, and 3 is definitely the weakest.
Oh, by so much.
It's got a lot more action-y stuff. But then again, in my opinion, I think 1 is so much better than the other 2 that the difference between 2 and 3 to me wasn't as big as people make it out to be.
I like 2. I still like 1 the most, but I like 2 almost as much.
The difference I'll put it this way. The difference between 1 and 2, I feel, is as big as the difference that other people say for 2 and 3. That's just... I liked them both, but Dead Space 1 is that amazing, and Dead Space 2 is pretty good, you know? Like, I don't know, Dead Space 1, maybe not a 10 out of 10, but like a 9 out of 10. And then Dead Space 2 is like a 7. And then Dead Space 3 is like a 5. Like, it's still a fine game. I know it's a fine game because I beat it the whole dang way. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of person to finish a game unless I'm doing it for LPs. I'm not the kind of person to finish a game, you know, just for the heck of it.
I definitely wouldn't give Dead Space 2 a 7 out of 10. I'd give it like a 8.5 for me. And like Dead Space 1 would be like a 9.5.
Where the heck is EA with at least the remasters of these? Like, I still don't understand like why like a lot of these things like
EA has dissolved the Visceral who made the Dead Space games.
I just like there's so many money making opportunities where I'm just like, do what BioShock did. Like literally just be like, all right, here's Dead Space 1 to 3 HD remastered, $60. And you know what? It sold really well.
Yeah. EA, this is easy to explain. EA is one of those companies that, if it's not a huge project where they could potentially make billions of dollars,
they
it's
just
not worth
won't do
doing.
it. Or
they want the big guns only. They don't care about small profits.
And you know the sad thing is definitely, oh yeah, it's right there. The sad thing is like they also don't want games where you can be like, hey, what's a way we can get like a lot of microtransactions and stuff? Like Madden nowadays is literally just a vessel for selling those whatchamacallit, those
Wow, too.
Jeez.
Sometimes these guys take 4. Yeah, nah.
But yeah, Madden is literally a vessel for selling those Madden Ultimate Team packs. They like put a ton into Madden Ultimate Team, but all the other stuff like franchise and online, they're just like, we don't make any microtransactions on it.
Yeah, who cares?
So they probably look at like a game like Dead Space or the possibility of making a new one or whatever, and they're like, but where's the packs we can sell? Where's the how are we gonna make a game like that have a bunch of like DLCs? You know what I mean? And it's just like harder than FIFA, where it's like, hey, Madden Ultimate Team, you know. Like, I know people who have spent, like, hundreds of dollars on Madden Ultimate Team packs and stuff like that, and I'm by no means saying I'm perfect. Like, I spend money in stupid ways. Like, I totally do. I, like, every couple of weeks, I'll, like, go to get gas or, like, get like, Slurpees with the family, and I'll be like, I'll get $5 in lottery tickets, and, like, I know I'm just throwing $5 away, but it's, like, fun, you know? Like, and I realize it's a very similar, like, analogy, but it's like...
But at least lottery is, like, you have a chance
I have a chance, yeah.
Didn't you say that... This is the most egregious thing to me, because I play a smartphone game where I've spent a little bit of money on it, and I'm not proud of it. But didn't you say that Ultimate Team, like, when you get a character, you don't have them forever?
Yes.
That is so crazy.
I actually, when I originally was playing the game, I thought it was awesome as heck. Madden Ultimate Team, I was like, yo, I can have, like, Gronk and, like, Bo Jackson and Tom... Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can build a team how I want. And then after I played, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 10 matches, it was like, Gronk's contract is expiring. What do you want to do about that? And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, that is crazy.
I would literally, if they were like, yo, here's the deal, man. Base $50, like, more than the game, right? So the game's $60, but like $50 for the season pass, and you can, like, keep characters for as long as you want. Like, you have to earn them. You have to play them and earn them, but you can... I'd be like,
Chris!
Yeah, I could see that.
Rebecca!
I saw you in the inner garden.
You don't save Jill yet, right?
Not yet.
Caught up.
You have to wait until, like, the last second.
But yeah, when I found that out, I dropped it so... That might have been Madden 18 or a couple years ago, but I dropped it so hard. I was like, I don't even mind earning it, because it's, like, fun things. They'll be like, go 50 yards on this one play, or come back from 10 points down, or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's fun, like, cute, like, little fun things. But then it was like, everyone's contracts are expiring, how do you want to do this? Do you want to... Because you had to, like, every time they... Like, you would have to use contracts, and you have to, like... You can't earn contracts faster than you earn players, so I'm like, oh, yeah, I see exactly.
You know, just to be safe, I'm going to go see Jill and talk to her, just to make sure that it doesn't lock me out for some reason. So let's just do that real quick.
That's fine. But yeah, when I found that out, I was like, oh, cool. I love this game, and I'm done.
I'm surprised they didn't like increase the rate that Crimson Heads like mutate into in this area, because it's so small. Like if they like reduced it down from, it's probably like I don't know, like 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes, but they reduced it down to like a couple minutes here, but they didn't, which I'm fine with. Yeah, because when I would play this today, I did do this first before I can actually rescue her, and I talked to her. I could definitely see this game being like, oh, you didn't unlock the locks right now, even though,
you can't do it.
Even though during the self-destruct sequence, they specifically say all locks are undone. But, yeah. Don't want to repeat my first, my LP of the original game.
Oh, yeah, were you, like, not able to finish it or something?
Yeah, I guess so.
Chris?
I finished it, but I got the bad ending.
That's a lovely,
I know.
cell.
Yeah, look how moist it is.
Literally.
I can't open it. Just wait, I'll be back.
Okay.
Such chemistry.
Okay.
Not even like Jill being like, Chris, I'm so glad to see you. It's just like, hi.
It stinks because Jill as a character model is absolute Kino, but then she's just like, oh, yeah, I'm Jill.
Rebecca and Barry definitely have the most personality in this game.
I like how they make up for the fact that the main characters have no personality by like being like, here's the sidekick, blah, Rebecca. You know, it's just like, it's a tactic as old as time. And then you're just like, well, why aren't the fun characters the main characters? Barry got screwed over. By the way, I thought I owned a copy of Resident Evil Gaiden for Game Boy Color, and like I could not find it.
Wait, really? Even the cartridge?
Yeah.
Probably what happened was, you know how like all those horror games got
where I lost all my horror games. And that sucks, because that's like $100 game, and like we never, like...
Even card alone?
Yeah, I'm usually real patient of like, oh, I'll just wait till we get in at the store, but it's like, I think we've seen it once in like 10 years, so I'm like, we'll never see it again, you know? And of course, the way the world works is the second I order it, you know that like 2 weeks later it'll come in. Not so fast that I can be like, oh, I'm gonna cancel this, you know, this order, but it'll be like, I have it in my possession, you know, and I have to be like... But yeah, that my major point was Barry got screwed over by being the main character in freaking Resident Evil Gaiden. Like, come on.
So you've come.
You should definitely do that game someday.
Oh yeah.
Maybe just do it on emulator.
Of course you are.
Probably be easier too.
Yeah, I don't even care because it'd be nice to be able to play with like an Xbox controller or whatever.
Since when, Wesker?
And you can't even play it on the Super Game Boy.
I'm afraid I don't
You'd have to
know
play it on
what
the
you're talking
GameCube.
about.
Oh god, that'd be.
Since when have they been slipping you a paycheck?
At least I could do the GameCube controller.
Yeah, but the GameCube controller sucks. The D-pad is so terrible.
Oh, you have to use the D-pad?
I mean, you can. Use the control stick, but I don't know. I feel like 2D platformers with the.
I literally forgot that the GameCube has a D-pad.
Piggies.
GameCube controller has a D-pad. It's so
The
tiny.
tyrant virus leaked, polluting this whole place, and unfortunately, I had to give up my lovely members of STARS.
You killed them with your own dirty hands. You son of a bitch!
Whoa, calm down, Chris.
Oh yes, dear.
Stop showing all that
Just
emotion.
like this.
Rebecca!
Don't move.
I don't think she dies, though.
I don't think you want to die just yet. I have something that's of some interest to you.
Maybe.
It's almost like they're making her unconscious, so she's not here for this boss fight or something.
Oh, yeah. One of the things I love about Resident Evil 0 is the tyrants in it, even though it happens, like, literally a couple days before this, are, like, more susceptible, and they're like the alpha, you know, of the tyrants, which I think is a pretty cool touch. The only thing that sucks is, yes, like, it literally... I mean, I forget exactly what the timeline is, but Rebecca does it and then ends up in the mansion. So
as far as I'm aware, like it's into the events of RE0, like ends on like the hill, seeing the mansion.
Yeah, that it definitely does. But my question is, was she like hiding out at the mansion for weeks? Like, I just don't see that being a thing.
Chris, you'll never understand.
Hey, question of the part, guys. What's Tyrant's weak point?
It's magnificent.
It's perfect. Has this ever been done in any sort of media before? where the guy brings back Dracula and is like, "Thank you, Lord Dracula." Blah! Has that ever happened?
No, this is the first time. Hey, buddy.
It literally.
Come on, you test tube freak.
It
I'm
literally
starting me right next to it.
even happens in in Dragon Ball Z. What was that? Babidi brings out Boo and Boo kills him
See ya.
instantly. My God. Does he get back up?
Nope.
My God.
Hey, Rebecca.
Isn't that an
Rebecca.
obvious bulletproof vest?
Chris.
It's a good thing you were wearing your bulletproof vest.
That is a good thing. Let me
There's nothing
explain
left
how
for us
you're
to do
alive.
here. Let's get moving.
Okay.
Like, Rebecca wasn't moving at all. Right? So, like, Rebecca wasn't moving at all, so why is Wesker like, I'm gonna shoot you in the chest instead of the friggin' head or neck? You know, it's just pretty dope.
Well, he did shoot. No, this is consistent. He did shoot. What was his name?
Enrico.
Enrico in the heart.
And they had to mention how it was, like, the perfect shot.
That's narrative consistency.
That's
This
just
is a 10 out of 10 plot.
That's just his thing. He just really likes heart shots. He's just like, that's my thing, man. So, we got it. So I think you still have to go get Jill, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know if just unlocking it is good enough.
This?
What is it?
I found a file in the lab. Apparently, there's still a lot of tyrant virus here. We should blow this whole place up.
Right. The show must go on.
What does that mean?
I'll leave that up to you, Rebecca.
I'm on it. I'll start the self-destruct system I found a little while ago.
It's not like we're out of this
It's
yet.
convenient that
I'll
you
see you
found
on the
that
outside.
exact thing.
Let's split up, gang. Rebecca can definitely die in the first one. Like 100%.
Yeah, she can die in this one too.
So what happens if she dies?
The mansion doesn't explode because you didn't start.
That's
there.
right, she doesn't start the, yeah.
So you just kind of
Leave.
leave, and you're like, oh.
Can you still... No, you can't save Jill because it didn't release all locks. Got it. So it's either like a great ending or like
The worst.
the worst. Yep.
You leave alone.
That feel one. That feel one leaving the mansion alone. The one thing that always confused me about the original game is, like, how Barry and Rebecca can die. Because in the first one with Barry, he'll be like, if you don't wait for Barry when he drops the rope down the hole, like, I guess that means that he dies. And I think Rebecca, it's like, come with me or don't come with me. If you're like, don't come with me, I guess she dies. I don't know. Also in this one, they had a pretty obvious...
Yeah, I thought the original Resident Evil, she also screams, and you have to rescue her from a hunter.
It's possible.
Jill, sorry I made you wait.
I knew you.
As much as I like
Let's
the
get
original
out of
Resident Evil, it's like probably the one I'm least knowledgeable on because it has the most, like, not RNG, but the most branching paths, you know? Oh yeah. Based Jill.
Hey, Jill.
I also like how in, like, the canon timeline, like, after this place blows up, essentially what happens is the remaining STARS members go to Chief Irons and they're like, hey! Here's this thing that happened, and Chief is like, it's fine. Like, literally, and
There's
they're
no
like...
evidence of it left, therefore we're gonna do nothing. What? No evidence? There's a huge hole where a mansion used to be.
And, like, they don't, like, go back to work like normal, but they don't instantly go to, like, the freaking president or whatever and is like, hey, you know. They're just like, oh, okay. Well, never mind. That's just like one of those things where you're caught in the biggest lie in the history of the universe and you're like, nah, it's good, it's fine. Hey, Chief, why are you putting up all these weird puzzles and locked doors in the precinct? Why are you hoarding all the ammunition in, like, one singular room?
I like how the remake sort of tried to justify it by being like, it was made at a museum, and the museum had a bunch of hidden rooms and weird things.
It's literally the best you can do. That I can't think of a better explanation off the top. You know, like, At least off the top of my head, I can't think of a better explanation. But, like, yeah, finding that stuff out in the first game, you're like, And, like, everyone was like, the Chief's crazy. I'm like, he's just a human. Like, he's just a dude. What are you like? Nope, gotta follow the Chief. He's the Chief.
If there's anyone alive, give me a sign. I repeat, this is your last chance.
Do you still have to pick up an item at the end here, just to, like, make sure you have an empty inventory space?
Yes, they do specifically do that. Where is it?
That's a brilliant move by them. Like, you have to pick up this fuel cell or whatever. It's a battery in the other game.
Although they do the one item space check again when you're up on the roof, so this is kind of completely pointless. But I guess just
do they?
Yeah. In this one, you have to like launch signal rockets.
Self-destruct systems activated.
Good work. Brad's up in the helicopter.
I guess just in case you somehow went back. But no, you can't go back. You automatically go.
I'll
Yeah.
take care of them.
Weird.
Chris, you just get in contact.
And there's
with
no
Brad
items to
somehow.
pick up here, I
Okay.
think. Like, there's no healings or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
At least not in the first one. But I
This-
think that's
this
a really...
fight will be over in like a minute.
10 seconds. I really think that's a brilliant move on their part. I mean, obviously, otherwise it would be like, you know, you
Look
be
at that.
very frustrated.
Oh, look at that Chad. Camera.
You know what he's thinking? He's thinking, after I get out of here, I'm going to go hit the gym.
And yes, he does. He sure does.
I'm going to get a Planet Fitness membership.
And by Planet Fitness, I mean steroids.
Steroids. No. Are you telling me Mark McGuire was on steroids? I don't think so. No. Choo!
Huh?
Is this how they do? Oh, okay.
Chris!
You okay?
Do you like that butt angle? That, like, absolutely unnecessary butt. They're like, here you go. You beat the game, so here's your butt angle. So, dude, that was... You know what that literally was? I never thought about it till now. That was nothing personal, kid. The way he jumped out of there.
Rebecca, you suck.
Wow.
This game is obviously not designed for free movement, so this is just so easy.
Wow, he takes a lot here.
What's he doing? Oh, Chad.
My,
Chris, use it! Kill it, whatever it is!
like, oh.
Oh, was that a defensive item?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't think that's an instant kill.
I love how... Oh my god. Rev up those healing items.
Just take 10 years. Shoot him.
You lose, big guy. So satisfying. So, I love how Rebecca, even though she's young, she's like literally 16, like, is like a trained STARS person, and she like didn't know how many like bullets were in her like magazine or whatever you call it.
I guess you can explain it away because she's like the medic of the group.
Yeah.
But still, if you're medic on the field, you get gun training. That's for sure.
I feel like that's the main thing that you just have to know, even if you're in like a terrible situation, you know, that you have to know how many bullets you have left in your clip or whatever. I'm gonna say it right. I think it's clip.
Magazine, clip, bullets. Just say everything.
Just say everything. I think it's magazine.
Oh.
Nice. Hey, baby. And then Rebecca's Beavis. She's like, you're gonna score. Too bad Barry Lay dies. I still don't know what like the truly canon ending is because all four of those characters survive.
Yeah, the ending that they use is something that they never actually show.
Yeah.
'Cause all of them survive.
All of them survive,
except
yeah.
for obviously like Forrest and.
No, but those three that you saw there and Barry survives, and Wesker dies. So only those four. So yeah, Resident Evil Remake, very good redesign. Still has the old school feel, but adds a lot to it. If you go into it thinking, well, I know first game like the back of my hand, you will be like ETFO'd.
It's just completely. I guess you could say that for
RE2
like,
as well.
like
Yeah.
the cave area and the residence. That's about it. That's like similar-ish.
Is it? Isn't the lab really, really, really similar as well?
I think so. Yeah.
So-
I think that.
I guess the way they look at it is if you get to the lab and stuff, you already proved, you know, the difference. Jill with the Resident Evil 3 costume. You already proved that you, like, were good enough, so they're like, we'll just make the rest of the game, like, normal.
They give you a costume for beating the game with Chris, and I'm not exactly sure what it's from. I'll show it off right after this. I guess I can just skip this.
Sure. I mean, it's stuff we saw
Chris,
literally
You
earlier.
did a fine job.
If only you beat it 9 minutes
Well,
earlier.
I guess I did it better because I got another trophy.
Nice.
Racing and pacing. Maybe under 5 hours. Real survival mode.
Item boxes are no longer connected. Oh my god.
No thanks. Ooh.
Oh my god.
It's really powerful.
That's cool. That's a nice tongue-in-cheek reference. I guess if you're like a masochist and you want to do item boxes are not linked, like that's fine. Especially with Chris with your 6 slots, you know? Oh my god.
Yeah, just no thank you. If I ever did that, yes.
No, you can't upload to the leaderboard.
Leaderboard. I'm probably a millionth place. No.
Once again.
Resident Evil.
Ooh. You know what this is from?
No. I don't.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a reference. But
I don't think it.
definitely
I don't
looks
think
weird.
it is. The other one's clearly from
Yeah,
like
look
5.
at steroid Chris.
Oh my god. Boo! Yeah, but the other one, it's not something that looks familiar to me. Oh, RE51 as well. RE1 Jill's Kino. So
I want RE3.
I know. Well, apparently you can. I mean, we just saw a cutscene.
I just had to finish.
You just had to finish it with her.
All right.
So yeah, it's Resident Evil 1 remake.
We finally got this done.
I know,
We've been talking
seriously.
about it for years.
And we're about to play another game where we've been talking about it for years as well. So keep checking the channel back, lads. We'll see you next time. And bibbidi boppidi blah, 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 blah. See you next time.